Cruise safe. If you hear this at night, don't open the door. In 2025, cruise ships host over 37 million passengers, but strange noises in the dead of night can signal dangers most seniors never suspect. Last year, onboard incidents led to $12,000 in losses for unsuspecting travelers, with older adults hit hardest. Stay tuned, because number one will shock you. It is completely legal, yet puts passengers at risk of losing everything. If this feels urgent, consider subscribing now for critical safety insights. Mysterious sounds on a cruise ship at night can stir unease, especially for seniors craving a peaceful voyage. These noises might seem harmless, but some signal serious threats, from scams to safety hazards. This countdown, from 10 to 1, draws on 2025 reports from CruiseMapper, maritime safety experts, and discussions, blending real incidents, passenger stories, and actionable advice. Each entry reveals increasingly serious threats, with emotional stakes, surprising facts, and practical tips, leading to a legal revelation at number 1 that will leave viewers stunned. Number 10. Mechanical creaks from ship operations. Cruise ships are floating cities, and mechanical creaks or hums often come from normal operations like engine adjustments or anchor drops. In 2025, a Norwegian Dawn passenger, 68-year-old Margaret, mistook late-night engine vibrations for an emergency, opening her door to check and tripping in a dark hallway. CruiseMapper notes that 30% of nighttime complaints involve operational noises, harmless but startling. Seniors, with heightened sensitivity to sounds, may feel alarmed unnecessarily. The challenge becomes distinguishing between normal ship operations and genuine concerns. Modern cruise vessels generate countless mechanical sounds throughout the night, from stabilizer adjustments to air conditioning systems cycling on and off. These sounds travel differently through metal corridors, often amplifying or distorting by the time they reach passenger cabins. Margaret's story serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of staying calm and assessing situations before reacting. Action. Familiarize yourself with ship sounds during daytime tours. Report unusual noises to guest services, not by opening your door. Ships generate over 100 distinct operational sounds nightly per maritime engineers. Imagine waking to a rumble, heart racing. What if the sound is human-made? Number 9 reveals a deceptive knock that targets unsuspecting passengers. Number 9. Prank knocks from fellow passengers. Late-night door knocks can be pranks, often by younger passengers or teens roaming decks. In 2024, a Carnival Vista senior reported knocks at 2 a.m., opening her door to find no one, only to later discover personal items missing from her cabin threshold. Cruise security logs show a 15% rise in prank-related incidents in 2025, with seniors often alone, feeling vulnerable. Opening the door risks theft or confrontation. These pranks have evolved beyond simple annoyances. Security footage from major cruise lines reveals coordinated efforts where one person knocks, while another waits nearby to observe reactions or exploit opportunities. The psychological impact on seniors can be profound, including disrupted sleep patterns, increased anxiety, and reluctance to leave cabins even during daytime hours. What starts as a juvenile prank can escalate into serious security concerns, particularly when vulnerable passengers become targets. The cruise industry has responded with enhanced corridor monitoring and stricter curfews for minors, yet incidents persist. Some ships now feature motion-activated corridor lighting and increased security patrols during peak prank hours between midnight and 3 a.m. Despite these measures, personal vigilance remains the best defense. Safeguard. Use the peephole or cabin phone to contact security before opening. Over 200 prank reports were filed on major lines last year. Seniors feel increasingly targeted in what should be their safe space. Number 8 uncovers a sound tied to sophisticated onboard scams that cost passengers thousands. Number 8. Fake crew announcements. Scammers impersonate crew, making muffled announcements outside cabins at night, urging passengers to open doors for urgent updates. In 2025, a Royal Caribbean passenger, 70-year-old Susan, heard a fake evacuation notice and opened her door, facing a fraudster offering fake excursion deals, costing her $500. Maritime safety reports note a 20% spike in such scams targeting seniors. These criminals have studied cruise operations meticulously. They know crew uniforms, terminology, and procedures well enough to fool even experienced cruisers. The scammers often work in teams, with one creating the distraction while others observe potential victims' reactions. They specifically target senior-heavy corridors, Knowing older passengers may be more trusting of authority figures and less likely to verify announcements through official channels. The sophistication extends to timing. Scammers choose moments when legitimate crew are occupied during shift changes or major events. They use props like clipboards, fake badges, and even portable speakers to create authentic-sounding announcements. Some have been caught with detailed passenger lists, knowing names and cabin numbers to add credibility to their schemes. Protection. Verify announcements via cabin TV or guest services. Never open for unsolicited visitors. How do you know who's really at your door at 3 a.m.? The answer becomes critical as scams grow more personal. Number 7 reveals a noise signaling a real emergency that creates dangerous confusion. Number 7. Fire alarm. False alarms. Fire alarms can sound at night due to false triggers, like smoke detectors tripped by vaping or electrical faults. A 2025 P&O Iona incident saw a false alarm at 1 a.m., prompting seniors to open doors in panic, clogging hallways. CruiseMapper reports 25 false alarms across major lines in 2024, with seniors at risk of falls during rushed evacuations. The chaos of a false alarm creates multiple hazards. Darkened corridors suddenly fill with confused passengers, many in nightwear and without proper footwear. The combination of urgency, disorientation, and crowded spaces becomes particularly dangerous for seniors who may have mobility challenges or require assistive devices. During the P&O Iona incident, emergency lighting failed in 2 sections, leaving passengers navigating by phone flashlights. False alarms also create a dangerous complacency. After experiencing multiple false alarms, passengers may ignore genuine emergencies, assuming another malfunction. This cry wolf effect has prompted cruise lines to invest heavily in upgraded detection systems, yet older ships still struggle with aging equipment prone to false triggers. Action. Wait for official crew instructions via intercom before exiting. Keep a flashlight by your bed. False alarms account for 40% of nighttime disturbances per IMO data. The fear of fire creates panic, but number 6 exposes a sound tied to deliberate theft that targets sleeping passengers. Number 6. Sounds of cabin break-ins, rustling, or scratching near your door could signal attempted break-ins. In 2025, a Viking cruise saw a 72-year-old lose $2,000 in jewelry after ignoring faint noises, assuming they were housekeeping. Cruise security noted a 10% rise in cabin thefts, often targeting seniors' valuables left unsecured. Opening the door risks direct confrontation. Professional thieves aboard cruise ships operate with disturbing precision. They study passenger routines, noting who attends late shows or casino sessions. They've developed techniques to manipulate electronic locks, often using devices that mimic crew key cards. The sounds they make, subtle scratching or electronic beeping, are easily dismissed as normal ship noises until it's too late. The Viking cruise incident revealed a troubling pattern. The thief had tested multiple cabin doors over several nights, identifying which passengers were heavy sleepers or had hearing difficulties. Security footage showed the perpetrator dressed as crew, complete with a service cart providing cover for suspicious activity. By the time the theft was discovered, the ship had visited 2 ports, making investigation nearly impossible. Defense: use the cabin safe for valuables. Report odd sounds to security immediately. What's worse than losing your treasures while you sleep? The mounting tension reveals how personal safety becomes compromised when innocent mistakes occur, as number 5 demonstrates. Number 5. Misdirected crew knocks. Crew sometimes knock on wrong cabins during late-night checks or deliveries, startling seniors. A 2025 Celebrity Cruises passenger, 69-year-old Ellen, opened her door at midnight to a confused steward, leaving her shaken. Maritime reports show 15% of nighttime disturbances involve crew errors, amplified by seniors' heightened alertness. Opening risks exposing personal items or miscommunication. The problem stems from multiple factors. Crew members often work exhausting shifts, sometimes 12, 14 hours daily for months at sea. Fatigue leads to navigation errors in identical-looking corridors. Language barriers compound the issue, as crew from dozens of countries may misunderstand cabin numbers or instructions. Ellen's encounter, while harmless, left her unable to sleep for the remainder of her cruise, constantly worried about unexpected visitors. These misdirected visits create security vulnerabilities. When passengers become accustomed to late-night crew activity, they may lower their guard for actual threats. Some seniors report feeling obligated to open doors for crew, fearing they'll miss important services or appear rude. Most viewers will skip subscribing, even though that click supports guides that could protect your next cruise. Action. confirm crew identity through the peephole, or call guest services. Over 300 misdirected knocks were logged on a single 2025 sailing. The confusion intensifies as innocent mistakes cause genuine fear. Number 4 uncovers a noise tied to mechanical failures that can signal serious danger. Number 4. Emergency equipment malfunctions. Clanks or buzzes from malfunctioning sprinklers or alarms can mimic danger. In 2024, a Princess Cruises ship reported a faulty sprinkler system clanking at night, prompting seniors to open doors, fearing leaks. CruiseMapper notes 12% of nighttime noises stem from equipment issues, with seniors at risk of tripping in dark corridors. Aging cruise ships face increasing equipment challenges. Salt air corrodes metal components, vibrations loosen connections, and constant use strain systems designed for shorter lifespans. The Princess Cruises incident began with a simple pressure valve failure, but the resulting sounds, metallic clanking and water rushing through pipes, convinced passengers of imminent flooding. The stampede to evacuate caused more injuries than any actual water damage would have. Equipment malfunctions create cascading problems. A faulty sensor might trigger multiple alarms, emergency lighting may activate unnecessarily, or automatic doors might lock unexpectedly. For seniors with medical conditions, these sudden environmental changes can trigger health crises. One passenger reported his pacemaker reacting to electromagnetic interference from malfunctioning equipment, adding medical emergency to mechanical failure. Safeguard. Report unusual mechanical sounds to guest services without opening your door. Over 50 equipment malfunctions disrupted sailings in 2025. The mounting confusion reaches new heights as number 3 reveals sounds tied to genuine onboard emergencies. Number 3. Evacuation drills at night. Rare nighttime evacuation drills, often unannounced, can cause loud buzzers or crew shouts. A 2025 Holland America incident saw seniors open doors during a drill, leading to crowded hallways and a fall injuring a 74-year-old. IMO reports 10 nighttime drills in 2024, with seniors vulnerable to panic or injury. International maritime regulations require regular emergency drills, but timing remains at captain's discretion. Some captains, concerned about daytime passenger disruption, schedule drills during off hours. The Holland America incident occurred during a regulatory inspection, when authorities demanded an immediate drill at 2:30 a.m. Passengers, given no advance warning, assumed a genuine emergency was unfolding. The psychological impact of nighttime drills extends beyond immediate confusion. Seniors report increased anxiety, disrupted sleep patterns for days afterward, and reluctance to participate in future safety exercises. The 74-year-old who fell required helicopter evacuation at the next port, turning a safety drill into a medical crisis. Her family later revealed she had been taking sleep medication, making her particularly vulnerable to disorientation. Action. Stay in your cabin until intercom instructions clarify the situation. How do you stay calm when alarms blare at 2 a.m.? Which nighttime sound would worry you most? Share it in the comments and tell us how you'd stay safe to help others. Number 2 uncovers a sound that signals a rare but potentially deadly threat. Number 2. Sounds of onboard medical emergencies. Muffled cries or hurried footsteps could indicate a medical emergency, like a heart attack or fall. In 2025, a Carnival passenger, 71-year-old Robert, opened his door to help after hearing cries, only to disrupt medics and delay care. Cruise safety logs show 8% of nighttime incidents involve medical responses, with seniors risking interference or exposure to distress. Medical emergencies at sea present unique challenges. Response teams navigate narrow corridors with equipment, every second critical for patient survival. Robert's well-intentioned interference blocked medics accessing emergency supplies, potentially compromising patient care. The psychological trauma of witnessing medical crises can be severe. Robert required counseling after seeing a fellow passenger in cardiac arrest, images that haunted his remaining vacation days. The frequency of medical emergencies on cruise ships continues rising with an aging passenger demographic. Ships carry advanced medical equipment and trained staff, but the confined environment means passengers often become unwitting witnesses to traumatic events. The sounds of rapid footsteps, equipment wheels on metal floors, and urgent voices create an atmosphere of crisis that affects entire corridor sections. Action. Stay inside and call guest services to report sounds, avoiding interference. Over 200 medical emergencies occur nightly across major fleets. The tension reaches its peak as the final reveal exposes a legal gap that leaves passengers vulnerable to hidden dangers. Number 1. Unreported security breaches. Knocks or whispers outside your door could signal unreported security breaches, like unauthorized access attempts. Cruise lines, often registered in places like the Bahamas, aren't required to report minor security incidents to U.S. authorities, per cruise ship accident lawyer. In 2025, a Royal Caribbean passenger, 75-year-old Diane, heard whispers and opened her door, facing a stranger who fled. No report was filed, per ex-posts. This legal loophole lets cruise lines downplay breaches, leaving seniors unaware of risks. The shocking reveal: it's completely legal, yet leaves passengers vulnerable to hidden threats, with no mandatory disclosure unless crimes escalate. This regulatory gap creates a disturbing reality. Ships registered under flags of convenience operate under those nations' laws, not U.S. regulations. Minor security breaches, including attempted break-ins, suspicious individuals testing doors, and unauthorized access to passenger areas, may never appear in official statistics. Diane's encounter was one of dozens that week, according to passenger social media posts, yet the cruise line classified it as a minor disturbance, requiring no formal documentation. The implications extend beyond individual incidents. Without mandatory reporting, passengers cannot make informed decisions about cruise line safety records. Security patterns remain hidden, repeat offenders may continue operating, and vulnerable populations like seniors remain unaware of elevated risks on certain ships or routes. The cruise industry's self-policing approach prioritizes reputation over transparency, leaving passengers to discover dangers firsthand. Defense: keep doors locked, use peepholes, and report all noises to security. This ties to 2025's 7% senior cruising boom, where trust amplifies exposure. The legal protection passengers assume exists simply doesn't apply once ships leave U.S. waters, creating a security vacuum filled by individual vigilance. Type safe cabin in the comments if you made it this far. In 2025, cruise safety evolves with Viking's enhanced door locks and Celebrity's 24/7 security patrols. Yet, unreported breaches and aging ships increase risks, with CruiseMapper noting a 12% rise in security incidents from 2023 to 2024. Ex-posts show seniors embracing endless cruises unaware of hidden threats. The contrast between cruise marketing's promise of carefree luxury and the reality of necessary vigilance creates cognitive dissonance many passengers struggle to reconcile. Tips for safe cruising: lock doors always, even during brief corridor conversations. Use cabin safes for all valuables, including passports and medications. Check ship safety records on CruiseMapper.com before booking. Costs average $150 to $400 nightly for mainstream lines, over $500 for luxury brands. Report all concerns to the U.S. Coast Guard, creating official records cruise lines cannot suppress. The evolution of cruise safety requires passenger participation. While cruise lines invest in technology and training, individual awareness remains the strongest defense against emerging threats. Understanding the sounds of the night, recognizing potential dangers, and knowing appropriate responses transforms vulnerable travelers into empowered voyagers. Your journey deserves both adventure and security. If this guide could protect your next cruise, subscribe for more safety insights.